This is the Male Rights Activist Podcast, episode 90, where we focus on relationships, sports, and pop culture from a man's point of view. First of all, we want to thank all of our listeners, our OGs and our new listeners from around the world, the UK, Germany, Jordan, Canada, Portugal, and the Philippines. Thank you for hanging with the fellas.
What up?
On today's show, we break down how we liked black ass fuck.
It made me depressed as fuck.
Nicki Minaj drops her husband's last name from her social.
Too bad that DA didn't drop his case.
Whoa, and our first not in post nut mode story from a woman who caught a guy in the act, and you won't believe what happened after. All that and more right now. This is the MRA podcast with Kyle and Kamal, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. I am Kyle.
I am Kamal.
And we're saving relationships one listener at a time. Let's start on the front page of our lives. Kamal,
what's up?
Brother, you still have peace in the home. Congratulations, man.
Everything is groovy, man. The boy had a bad Wednesday, but after Tuesday and Wednesday, he wasn't with me Tuesday. He came back to me Wednesday. After Wednesday, man, he was straight. He's been going to go play basketball, wanting to practice, asking me for help.
Oh, that's the best, man, when your son actually wants.
It's a father's dream. He's like, Dad, how can I work on my handle? So I'm up there, showing him drills and stuff like that, man. And he's going to the park to practice. All last week, I cooked dinner.
What?
Yeah, man.
Going
I was
on?
Domesticated, man. I was in the
Why
kitchen.
were you cooking dinner?
I don't know. Well, you know how it starts. You know what I'm saying? I get the complaints about, somebody doing everything. So,
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I was like, what?
So you decided to help.
So decided to do my part, man, and I'm cooking and cleaning the kitchen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, it's not that difficult.
No.
It's not that difficult.
How was your cooking game, man? And I got two questions.
Yeah.
What do you like to do in the household chores? Because I don't mind washing dishes. As long as I that's where I watch the TV. That's where I get my Netflix catch up on. But my earphones on. That's where I've been watching Black as Fuck. Have you been watching that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We could talk about that later. But that's where I'll get my TV done. What do you like to do as far as chores?
I hate chores.
Oh, okay.
But I think what I prefer to do is clean up like around the house. Go around picking up stuff because I have to move. Clean.
Yeah, so vacuuming. Does vacuuming bother you?
No, vacuuming, sweeping, you know what I'm saying, going around picking up the boys' toys and like putting them where they need to go. None of that stuff bothers me because I'm moving. But
Nice.
standing in one spot like washing dishes or even cooking, like, oh man, it's just hard on my legs and stuff like that. After a while,
Why don't you try sitting down?
I don't know.
All right, guys, now it's time for the lesson of the day. Ladies, advice for you: if you want your man to help, talk to him about it. Ask him what he likes to do as far as the list. Maybe you have a list of things and tell him to pick. This is where I need help. Which of these things? And you might be saying, "Well, why I gotta blah blah?" Just shut up. Just listen. Which of these things? Shut your ass up. Which of these things on this list do you look at and cringe the least at? Because I like to cook, but I also like my woman to cook for me. Like my daughter likes her mom to make. Like, I'll tell her I'm making breakfast. Now, she likes when dad makes breakfast because I make it well, but she likes her mom to make her the food. It's something about when mom does it, it feels like love to children and men. And please, ladies, no jokes that we're the same.
Yeah, my kids kind of diss some of my shit, man.
How was your cooking game? Can you cook?
Man, I can. Well, no, not really. So I'm learning on the fly. But man, I made fried chicken in the air fryer.
Dog. My fried chicken in the air fryer game has gotten better because of you. I just want you to know that.
Oh, man, thank you. And honestly, man, this shit was like Roscoe's, man.
Nigga, shut up.
Well, here's the thing about it. Roscoe's isn't the gospel to me.
No,
It's
not
about,
better than churches.
Well, none of the stuff is better than like my mom's and my sister. So to me, Roscoe's is maybe like a B plus. And so it always has been to me. So when I made my chicken, I was like, this shit is like, I can sell this motherfucker.
Hey, I barbecued yesterday, bruh. it's the first time. You know how do you have memories from your childhood of certain tastes? Like I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to my play auntie Shaw's house, and there was this barbecue. And I'm talking, this is like Pomona 19 something early, and I'll never forget. There was just some crispy barbecue that had this charred deliciousness that I felt in my chest. And yesterday, I made the best barbecue I've ever made. The chicken wasn't that good, but the sauce and the seasoning, I don't know if it was the paprika, man. I'm stepping my paprika game up. I'm getting better, bro. I want you to see how I get down one day.
Man.
All right. I had my first online comedy show, dog.
Okay. How was that? Because I saw the chick from Saturday Night Live, and it was not good.
Bruh. First of all, man, so it was via Zoom. It was my boy Boo Boo from Southern. They call him Boo Boo because of Yogi Bear and Boo Boo, not because of shit. Anyway, but my boy's wife, they reached out, say, hey, man, my wife's having a party. Now, I get all the comedians always get like invited. Hey, you want to do comedy at my party? And I'm always like, nope. Because I don't like doing, I like doing comedy in a club, not at a house.
Yeah, because you don't know if it's welcome. Like the people throwing there, like, hey, it's a good idea, but the people at the spot might be like, what? I don't want
do they
shit.
Want, like, there's so many rules. Like, the audience should be in chairs. The audience should be facing you. There needs to be a lighting. Anyway, so I hate it. But I'm going to be honest, man, that pep talk you gave me about performing for black crowds and how much they, that we're all one. Mm-hmm. I thought about that before I did it, because I was just like, man, this is about to be impossible. My biggest fear was like, I won't be able to hear them laughing on time. So I don't know where to, it's kind of like when you make love to your lady, hopefully what she likes, you continue to do. What she don't like, you stop doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how I am when I'm with a crowd. I try a little something, or we start talking, just like, if I'm with a woman, and I figure out what she likes and I start doing that. And if she likes more, I'll do more of that. Now, it's from my repertoire, but I go, it's a give and take. So I was concerned with like tape delay and all that kind of stuff. But man, the guy before me, the opener, he did his comedy with the audience muted. So he couldn't tell if they was laughing, dog. And I asked him, man, how'd you do it? He said, he just gunned it, man. He just went full speed. And I can't do that. I can't. That's just like a speech. I can't do that. So, I freestyled into it. And, I was a little rusty, man. I ain't done comedy in over a month. It's the longest break I've ever taken since I started. But it ended up good. Kamal, was funny, and I got paid, and I got tips. So I'm very happy.
Wow. So were you sitting at the computer, or were you standing up, like doing a routine?
I was sitting at the computer, but I had the microphone connected to it so that I felt like it was some type of control, not just talking to a group of people. Hey, man, coming up, we got some feedback from a new listener. And later in the show, a Dear Irby writer is frustrated that her husband is not helping enough with homeschooling the kids. You won't believe his reason is the MRA podcast. Hey, come on, we got listeners all over the world now, man.
Yep.
And I was wondering, man, I wonder what the people do while they're listening to our show. I know we got a guy in the Navy who's in Spain. He listens. We got a lady that drives a Lyft. She listens while she's driving her Lyft and has her customers listen too, which is absolutely hilarious. Cat in Brooklyn listens while he delivers some fish. Okay. We want to know from other people, man, how do you listen to our show? What are you doing? Hit us up on the social media. I'm at Kyle Irby.
I am at Angry Kamal.
And let us know what you're doing when you listen to our show. Kamal, what are you doing when you listen to the show?
Man, I'm usually chilling, man. I take the train to get my son from school.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, man. So I get the headphones on and I listen to it front and back. The problem is I'm coming back. He wants to talk. I'm trying to listen. So I have to, try to act like I'm paying attention to him. I'm really listening to my words of wisdom.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Pretend like you're listening to your son while you're listening to the podcast. That's one way to do it. I usually listen to while I'm cleaning the house, man. I picked... Well, go ahead.
Domestic work?
Yeah, man. Oh, come on, dude. I wish I didn't have domestic work, but yeah, man. I usually listen to if I'm washing the dishes or folding laundry. I listen to any kind of thing that I don't have to think.
Yeah,
and I just get to listen. But I want to know what are the people listening? What are y'all doing? Let us know. We got some feedback, homie.
Do we now?
Yeah, this is from Sharice in Sugar Land, Texas. She says, I am a new listener. I must say I'm becoming a fan. You two are so funny. I listen with headphones on, and I must look silly laughing so loud. I listen while I'm doing housework, just like Kyle does. See, that's my deal. I wanted to also tell you that I just downloaded his album and it was so good. I am so happy to hear that. She said, I love the joke about the Tupac knot. I must admit, I have been wearing my head tied down a lot more than normal, and I tie my knot right in the front like you said. That tickled me so much. Also, I really enjoyed that mystery you had at the end. Good job. That's Sharice in Sugar Land, Texas.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, man. The Tupac knot basically is me talking about when women, men want to see you looking like you did when you went to work that day. That's basically what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. You just
Not with the, you know how women tie their hair, black women tie their hair down at the end of the day?
yeah.
And they put that little knot in front of the Aunt Jemima, Tupac knot.
Yeah, okay. I was like, Tupac, nah, that's
I know, it
that's
doesn't make
it's
sense
time
out
for
of
a new,
context.
time for a new album, buddy.
What you mean? Oh, the comedy album?
That's a
That
Tupac
is funny.
reference.
No, it's because of the knot, though. But you know what I was talking about, though,
Yeah,
right?
you got enough material, right? You ever think
Yeah, I
about
can drop another one. Yeah, yeah.
You ever
another
think
one's
about it?
coming. Oh yeah, of course. I'm just thinking about what to put it out and when. But I find I got enough new stuff.
Yeah, man.
It was an old reference when I said it. I mean, Tupac been dead,
Okay, I was like,
but that knot in the front is. Dude, it's just, you get the visual of Aunt Jemima and Tupac when I say it.
Yeah.
And coming up, Kenya Barris has a new Netflix show called Black Ass Fuck. How do we feel about it? We will let you know. And later in the show, did you know women have a version of not being in post-nut mode? We have a story from a woman who caught her guy in the act, and you won't believe what happened after. It's the MRA Podcast. Yo, Kamal.
What's up?
I finally finished my album, dog.
The one you did in 2013?
Yeah, man. I know, man.
Okay.
A long time ago, man. But I said, you know what? I'm going to finish this album. This thing is coming out.
Eventually.
You know, you got to finish. You can't give up.
I can dig it. And eventually it's finally here.
Eventually, it's finally arrived, man. And I was
Okay.
listening to it, man. This thing is funny, dude.
Okay, it's not dated. No jokes about chingy or nothing like that.
There is some dated jokes in there.
Yeah.
Like there's a reference to, it was before Michael Sam came out. Because it was like a reference to gay athletes that came out. And I was
Okay.
like, wow, that's dated.
Okay.
But the juxt of it is everything's good.
Bruce Jenner still.
Yeah,
Is Caitlyn? Is it
yeah,
Caitlyn?
he's Bruce in the
He's
album.
Bruce.
I don't talk about him.
But he was Bruce.
Yeah, I used to have a Bruce Jenner joke. He was Bruce in this when I recorded this. But no, it's ready, man. It's out.
Okay.
It's funny, man. Check it out and get it on iTunes right now. It's called Be a Man at All Times. All right, Kamal, you told me to watch Black AF, and I watched it, and I gotta say, man, it took me a while to get into it, dog. The first episode I was watching, I was like, the first thing I just was like, what's going on? Why am I not feeling it? It felt kind of braggadocious to me. It felt egocentric to me. And then I warmed up to it. And once I warmed up to it, it was like, let's go. I just was like, okay, I'm in. This is basically like Blackish rated R. It's a
Right.
cross between Modern Family with the docu-style and Blackish. He hits a lot of the same topics as Blackish, but overall, I enjoyed it. How'd you feel about it?
it was. I felt the same. I think that for me, the pilot I was in initially like, okay, this is great, and then kind of like, died down for me. Then I hopped back up, and then it was just even. You watched the whole thing?
I have not watched the whole thing yet. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it last night.
Okay, cool.
Me
So
and
I'm
the
probably
lady.
at episode 3 or 4. How
Oh.
many are there?
8.
Okay, yeah. So I'm halfway through.
Yeah, me and the lady, we finished it last night, man. Because Dominique hit us up, man. Dominique Purdy
Yeah.
hit us up, and he was like, yo, you got to watch this. And he was saying, like, the guy is so much like me and the character and all of that. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, shit, man.
Did it discourage you about your idea?
Saturday, I was depressed.
Damn.
I was depressed Saturday. I mean, I stayed in the bed a little longer.
Damn.
Yeah, man, I was depressed because it's like one of those things where, you think you got a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, let's put this good idea out there, but then this goddamn COVID hits and delays things, and then it's like, well, let's try to figure out a way to do it. You know what I'm saying, during COVID, and then while that's happening, they drop something that is similar to yours, but it's with a budget. and with a team behind it, and it's done right. And it's like, I can still do mine, but I mean, there's a few similarities. Most of it's different. Most of it's different. You know, I don't want to give it away for people who haven't seen it, but like you said,
you can give away aspects that are in the preview.
Well, yeah, like dude is ridiculously rich, and I am not ridiculously rich.
Yeah,
you know, I'll say the similarities are both shows, my show and Kenya's show, are driven by philosophies. You know, not situations. You know,
so does Larry David. Larry Davis is driven by philosophy.
Yeah, it's driven by philosophy, and I think that's where they're similar, and we're both comedy writers, and we both don't really feel the family. We ain't really feeling the family.
I love his take on that.
Yeah, and I think those are pretty much the similarities. That's where they end. Oh, yeah. I mean, I like to be fresh, but that dude right there is off the chain. He's way more trendy. I like kicks and I like retros.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like my retro J's, but aside from that, this guy is off the chain.
But Kamal, why can't you just be the Married with Children to His Cosby Show? Because Married with Children, the original pilot was called Not the Cosbys.
Yeah.
It's saying, man, listen, man, we ain't that. I mean, your ego and pride probably don't want to pretend like his came out first, but since his is already out, you could really just address the elephant in the room and kind of just be like, all right, well, he did this. Here goes my shoe closet. It's fresh, but it ain't that. You know what I mean? It's already a joke. It's already a joke because you compare your shoe closet to the shoe closet.
It's not even close.
But to me, Kamal, this ain't nothing but adversity. Because this is so similar to your ideas are similar, but they're not at all. His is a docuseries, which I thought, it was a great idea how they did that. I mean, I guess Skillet could have a similar thing if he's working on a thing for film school, but that's
that wasn't in my.
Yeah, that was never your idea in the first place.
Nah,
exactly. So it's like you're not doing that, but if you was spoofing his joint, then you know what I mean. You could spoof his shit. But the truth is, man. You guys, the only thing you have in common is being black writers, man. And his shit, he does a lot of the same things from Black. It's just crazy, like those cutaways and shit. And that's not your deal either. Even though you're very black power and black this, black that. But you're not, John, it's not the same, man. I think we should keep going forward, dude.
I'll say a lot of, not a lot, but there are some scenes. Mm-hmm. There's some scenes and some jokes that I planned on doing.
That he has,
yeah. And I'm sitting over there watching it with my wife, and she starts apologizing. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Wow,
that's the worst feeling.
Yeah, like damn, like I just told her some shit that day. Damn, here's what I want to do. I'm gonna do this, and we see it on this show after I was already feeling bad about it. Kyle, we literally see the exact same thing with the exact same dialogue.
Wow.
I mean, the exact same. And I want to say shot for shot.
Wow.
And so it's like one of those things like, God damn, universe. Like, why do you hate me so much?
Well, let me tell you what this is. Let me give you a little bit of kick in the ass. Let me kick you while you're down for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Had you put the shit out when you said, nigga, a year ago, we not having this goddamn conversation. This was 2018 New Year's resolution for 19.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, nigga, we went remember, because I was like, it was December 18, and you was like, dog, we gonna do an episode every day. I said, nigga, stop it, stop.
You know what? That's old shit. Why are you bringing up old shit?
When we come back, did you know that women have a version of not being in post-nut mode? We have a story from a woman who caught her guy in the act, and you won't believe what happened after. And later in the show, Nicki Minaj dropped her husband's last name from her social. Is there trouble in paradise? It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, man? I just had to take a time away from the podcast to let you know. If you want an MRA hat, you can get you one. You know why? Because we got them for sale. 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 You can get you one in red, blue, black, whatever you want. Just go to the website, themrapodcast.com. That is themrapodcast.com and get you one. Kamal, it's time for a not in post nut mode story. And this one's from a woman for the first time, dude. Yeah, it's from Carrie in Quebec. She said, I was dating this guy and I was so in love with him. Now that I think back, I can't think of one reason. Maybe because he played in a band. I don't know. I was young and stupid. When a woman is madly in love, it's similar to when a man is not in post nut mode. Her mind does not work at all.
I agree.
One night I texted him and he didn't respond. This wasn't like him. He's the type to always text right back. You text him and your phone chimes before you can put it down. You know how with Apple, you can tell if someone's phone is off because their text changed colors? After a while, his text turned green and his phone went straight to voicemail. This is how I know I was in love. Instead of getting mad, I got worried. I borrowed my roommate's car, and this thing is a beater. I guess beater means like a bucket.
Yeah, bucket.
I drove way out to his house. We're talking 40 minutes, but I had to see if he was okay. Was he hurt? Was he kidnapped? I just wanted answers. I get to his apartment and I'm banging on the door. No answer. I live in Canada. It was freezing, but I could not give up. His car was in the spot and there was no other cars in the visitor spot, so I knew it wasn't another woman. Well, that's what I thought. I went around the back, hopped his gate, and looked through his living room window, only to find a naked redhead with freckles all over her back. She does not use sunscreen. On top of my guy. What a random thought. He sees me. He picks her up off of him and proceeds to come to the window, still naked, yelling at me. The other girl covers herself and runs to the window. Now he's yelling at her. I was so devastated and embarrassed. He never even let me in. Thankfully, I didn't have to hop the gate to get out. I get to my roommate's car, praying it starts because that would be the worst if I needed him to give me a jump. It starts and I sit with my head on the steering wheel crying. Then I hear a rap on the window. I'm thinking, what does he have to say for himself? I look up and it's not him. It's her. He kicked her out and she needed a ride. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You just mounted my man and you want me to give you a ride? She starts telling me how she didn't know about me and asked, did I know about her? And I was like, no, of course not. It was before Uber and too cold to make her walk, so I just said, get in. I wish I could say I never spoke to him again. I did, and yes, we hooked up again. Wow. And so did she, because she texted me and we talked about it. Oh, well, you live and you learn, right? Never again, guys. I know this is not a PNM, I guess it's post-nut mode story, but I hope it gets on anyway. I love you so much. Carrie in Quebec. Come on, what you think, dog?
Yeah, this dude is wild. But here's the thing about it, Carrie. What you don't realize is that that concern you had, you hop in the gate, because you were doing too much.
Oh, way too much.
She was definitely doing too much. But you saved that man from having the freckle chick spend the night. Your nosiness killed two birds with one stone. He got to sleep alone that night, which is what he wanted from the get-go.
Kamal, coming up, Nicki Minaj drops her husband's last name for social media. Is there trouble in paradise? And later in the show, a Dear Irby writer is frustrated that her husband is not being helpful enough with the homeschooling of the kids. You won't believe here's the reason why. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey guys, I want to take this time to ask you to subscribe to The World According to Cheryl. That is Cheryl Underwood's podcast. It's hilarious, and I'm on it. Kamal, Nicki Minaj changed her name on social media to Mrs. Petty just before she married her sex offender husband because he got convicted of sexual assault as a teenager. He was a teenager, right?
I guess. I don't really know.
I'm pretty sure he was. I mean, it's something. It was all bad, but it was like an old thing that happened a long time ago, but it's still bad. So he's required to register in every state, which is the worst. So they moved as a couple to L.A., and he failed to register. Got in trouble for that. Soon after, she changed her name on social media handle from Mrs. Petty to Yikes, the name of her new single. People are wondering, is there trouble in paradise, or is Nicki just trying to do a publicity stunt? What do you think, dog?
I think it's a publicity stunt. I don't think
Me
it's
too.
trouble in paradise. I don't think. I mean, because she knows the deal, man. I don't think the guy kept anything from her. I don't think he tucked his chain in.
No, she knew. She knew before they got married.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if that's the name of her new single, she's not saying yikes because he didn't register. She knew the deal and probably thought, you know what, that's some old crime. You ain't got to do the shit. She probably, I don't know if she advised him, but you know, I doubt if she was on him. You know, you got to register. You got to register. I mean, this is LA, man. You register. Harvey gets a hold of it, keeps the story going, and stuff like that. She probably was like, man, fuck them. Just come on. Ain't nobody going to say shit. And they said shit, but I don't think this is that big a deal. Now, the big deal is marrying, you know, convicted sex. Yeah, when you're when you're a superstar, a sex symbol as Nicki Minaj is, every guy, same thing with like J-Lo and if Beyonce, it's like every guy is scrutinized. Is he perfect for you? Because we hold these women on these pedestals, so now we have to scrutinize the guys. Is he worthy?
Yeah.
Is he some gold digging dude and stuff like that? Is he like Wendy Williams' husband and stuff like that? And so this guy's a sex offender. So the jokes are just pouring in, or you know. And so she don't want to, you know, she's whatever. And she's got some pretty thick skin. I'm pretty sure she's in love with this guy.
Absolutely.
But, you know.
There's an element of control there too, Kamal.
How so?
But you got to think about it. If you're big as Nicki Minaj, you can have every man. She's had rappers. She's had this. She's had that. But sometimes you want somebody who will not leave you. See, rappers that she's had, you know, she's been with different rappers. They got the power to leave. But when your husband is a convicted sex offender, he got to put up with your shit. And half being married for women is, I need to find a nigga that will put up with my bullshit and not leave. And when your husband's a convicted sex offender, in your mind, you thinking, well, he ain't got a lot of options. Plus, they got history. And when you got history with a person, you invested early. He invested early. They knew each other from way, way back. So there's that safety there as well, Kamal. So that all plays into it, dude. I think it was a publicity stunt that worked. People wondered, why is she doing it? Why is she doing it? And now we all know what's the name of her new single, Kamal? It's called Yikes. And that's really what you want. You want the publicity. But you said something that struck me, because you said that she signed up for being with a sex offender. Yeah, but sometimes women can be so goddamn delusional that they don't realize what they signed up for, the ramifications of what they signed up for. So yeah, you signed up for a sex offender, but you didn't realize that meant that you was going to be getting this kind of publicity still to this day. Because in your mind, you was just thinking, I want to be married so bad.
Yeah, was he convicted? I don't know much, you know.
No. He's convicted, has to register.
No, I'm saying, was he convicted or did he cop a plea? You know what I'm saying? And so she might know the deal. Like, he was young. He didn't have no lawyer. He copped to some bullshit, not knowing what he was doing, but he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, according, that's his story. And so the things that we see, convicted sex offender, is not the person she sees, not the person she knows.
Isn't that funny, especially when you're dealing with a young black man, that just because, like one time I was doing a joke about Mike Tyson or something like that, and they were like, he's a convicted rapist. And I said, that doesn't mean he raped a woman. And they're like, what are you talking about? But he was convicted. I was like, yeah, that's not how it works in black justice. Just because you was convicted. And white dudes too, but definitely in the black justice system. Just because you was convicted, I don't mean you did it. You almost got to read the case and make a decision yourself. Because, a black man has had the book thrown at him for so long over bullshit. There's a lot of convictions in a black man's life that he didn't necessarily do. So conviction don't mean a goddamn thing.
The Central Park Five are convicted rapists.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
I'm going to let that just sit there out there for the world to take in. When we come back, Nicole Ari Parker wishes her husband was her boyfriend again. Does Boris Kojo need to step his game up? And later in the show, Lamar Jackson got some heat from his Trump tweet. Are we really throwing the flag? It's the MRA podcast. Are you yelling at your radio right now? You know, what the hell you saying? You wrong, Kyle.
You wrong, Kamal.
Yeah. Or right. That's what I'm talking about.
Word.
Yeah. Hey, then tweet us. Stop what you're doing unless you're driving. Stop what you're doing. Hit us right now. Respond to us. Just talk to us right now.
Let us know how you feel.
I'm at Kyle Irby.
I'm at Angry Kamal.
Or you can hit us both at the MRA Podcast and let your voice be heard.
Yeah, man.
So we'll read it.
We might even respond.
And you just might hear it on the show.
Yeah, man. Be a celebrity for a day.
Yes, man. Just stop what you're doing. Hit us up, man. You'll get a response.
Yes, sir.
According to the Jasmine brand, Kamal Nicole Ari Parker, little cutie pie, little seasoned cutie pie now on the she's still fine though. She was on the big homie Chris Spencer's Instagram talk show called Date Night. He co-hosts that with his casting director, lovely wife Vanessa Spencer, I guess. So Parker says she misses the good old days when Boris was doting on her. She says sometime in the last year or so, I thought, I wish he was my boyfriend again. I don't necessarily want to be single, but I miss the single life. I miss the text messages for no reason. I miss coming up from behind me when I'm scrambling eggs, just kissing me on the back of my neck. And Chris Spencer, of course, he jumps in and says, hey, I still do that, Boris. That's some hate, dog. He threw his boy under.
His wife was sitting right next to him, so he had to.
Yeah, he had to give him a little jab.
Before he got that evil eye. Hey, I do that too.
I believe that women miss their boyfriend, but that is the price they have to pay for living with their man. Ladies, you want your man to move in so damn badly. And then once he moves in, it gets boring. That's how it works. Had y'all stayed living apart, y'all both got good jobs. Had y'all stayed living apart, you would have gave him a chance to miss you and you could have more of an opportunity. Now that comes with other side effects, but everything comes with side effects, Kamal. What say you, bro?
Yeah, man, I don't understand. Like when you live with somebody, you slept in the bed with them for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You ate dinner or whatever. I mean, you've been around them for 12 hours. Do we still need to sit down and connect?
Yes, you do. Because it becomes boring if you're not connected.
Yeah, man, I'm good though.
Because you're a man.
I don't need now. If it's some important shit to say, I get it, man. We gotta talk about this.
You mean
of
connect,
course,
like talk.
Yeah, just talking. We need to sit down and every day you spend an hour.
That's not what she said.
No. Basically, saying the text messages for no reason. Well, it's like, dude, we were there for 12 hours.
I saw was the coming up behind me kissing when I'm
no, just the total package.
Yeah.
The total package. Just the text messages for no reason. It's like, well, I saw you. I said what's up this morning and all of that shit. So I don't have to text. I'm going to see you in 2 or 3 hours.
But this is going to be a weird question for me to ask my boy, my brother. One of my closest friends in the world. Have you ever been in love with a woman, man? This is getting way too mushy for me. And you just, at the beginning, you can't get her off your mind. Has that ever happened to you, man? I don't feel like this ever happened to you, man. But maybe it has. Has that ever happened to you, dog? Have you ever just been so good? Literally, man, you can't get off your mind. Have you been there?
Not like in that regard. Okay. When I first linked up with my girl, man, we were just always together.
Yeah.
And so we never really, we were just kind of inseparable. Yeah. So I never had that, opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Well,
space does that, Kamal. This was my point. To me, the best feeling in the world being in love is when you miss them like crazy. You can't wait to see them. It's almost like you can't breathe in their way. And the thing that kills that is being around them too goddamn much. And so sometimes it's like, ladies, the things you're asking for is counterproductive to other things that you want. Like you said, if I just saw you I'm not sending you an I miss you text. I just saw you.
I'm going to see you.
If we come back, Amy Schumer had to change her son's name. Find out why. This is a silly story, man. I don't know if you heard this one yet. And after that, Lamar Jackson got some heat from his Trump tweet. Are we really throwing the flag? It's the MRA Podcast. Can I have your attention, please? We are trying to start a movement. You heard that right. We're starting a movement. We're doing something different here at the MRA Podcast. We vibing with y'all. You know what I'm saying, fellas? You know what I'm saying, ladies? It ain't just fellas that listen to the show. Matter of fact, it's majority women, but it's all good. I know you know somebody that fits with what we try to do over here. So all we need you to do is send it to them. Tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? That somebody know how we get down here at the MRA show. It's really called the podcast, but I just wanted to rhyme no and show. Kamal, you a fan of David Tales?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's one of those comics that he's the ultimate comics comic, man. Comics always seem to love David Tell. Well, so does Amy Schumer. So much so that she gave her son Gene Dave's last name as his middle name. His name was Gene Attell Fisher. But then her mama hit her up and was like, hey, do you realize that Gene Attell sounds like genital? Gene Attell. So she changed his middle name to Dave because kids can be cruel. Do you really think this happened, or do you think she was this is a publicity stunt? Do you really think she had to change? She really changed his middle name?
I don't know, but if it's a joke, it's a great joke.
It is a good joke.
It's a good joke. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if her real life could be so funny. Gina Tell.
That's funny, man. I believe her, man. But I could be gullible because I tend to believe people because I pretty much tell the truth. So I expect people to be telling the truth.
But nobody would know.
Yeah.
Nobody would know. I don't know your middle name right now. I know you said it a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like in school.
Is yours Abdul?
No.
That's your last name.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you go to school and here's your name, they don't call you by your middle name unless you actually list it as your name. If you don't list it, your name is Joe Franklin.
When people find out, people have kids. Come on, man. I hated my middle name when I was a kid because I just didn't like the way it sounded. I'm named after my father and I forget my dad's name is Albert because his father's name is Albert. So I hated being Albert until I realized that my grandfather is such a G and I look up to him so much. So now I own it. Like, yeah, it does have it is a weird sounding name.
Your middle name's Albert?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
See, exactly. So I didn't, like, even when I said it right now, like, yeah, when I was young, I would have been like, yeah, and excuse. Like, no, that's my middle name. It's Albert because of my legendary grandfather. And when I look at it, when I say it like that, I'm like, oh, yeah. You know,
that was Mister's name from Color Purple.
Yeah. And we have a couple things in common. You know, fitness shave Albert. Mister wasn't shit. I ain't never gonna be that bad. I hope the Lord. But hey, what's your middle name, dog?
Ibn. IBN. And it's not
but
really.
That means something though, right?
The son of.
Son of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Kamal, the son of Abdul Jabbar.
Okay.
Yep.
See, now, did you ever get teased by that middle name when you was a kid?
No, they didn't know about it. I got teased for my first name.
What did they say?
I was Camel.
Ah.
Yeah, I was Camel and Camel Toe before I actually knew what Camel Toe was. It was, I don't know. Do you remember? I don't know the P teachers' names at Ike, man.
Yeah, I remember them. Which one? Mr. Magnus?
The two that were married, they were old.
Oh, yeah. One was the big buff one?
No.
The older kind of.
Yeah, they were like the swim teachers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't remember their name.
Their son used to work up there as like one of the swimming coaches, and he would call me Camel Toe.
Oh, my God, that's funny.
I know what Camel Toe was.
Did you think it was funny or did it bother you?
I didn't know what it was because his big toe was like kind of like sliced. So I'm like, hey, I call him Toe. Hey, what's up, Camel Toe? It's like, hey, you the toe? I'm thinking like something's wrong with my feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this nigga's calling me a pussy. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Man.
It was like,
Man, they didn't make fun of my name. But they did used to make fun of my ears because my ears is big and pointy. One of my teachers called me Elf, which is, whatever.
Oh,
that used to bother me a little bit.
I got hit hard for everything.
Man, Camel.
Yeah, I got Camel, Abdul Jabbar, obviously growing up in the 80s. So every time I would go to like a summer camp or somewhere new, they would call my name. Everybody would just laugh. Well, Abdul Jabbar. Yeah! And that was the first one.
God.
And I'm always the first one. So we're going to set this shit off.
We're going to start this off the first name.
Yeah, we're going to set this shit off. Yeah, they laughing. I'm like, okay, that's me.
Man, that is funny. Man, that all shapes your point of view. This is another way you're so different than Kenya Barris, man. You have this lovable loser vibe where he has this flossy floss vibe. You guys have a total opposite
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
man.
That guy is not a lovable loser at all.
Not at all. When we come back, Lamar Jackson's getting some heat from a Trump tweet. Are we really throwing the flag? It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, if you're enjoying the podcast, do us a favor. Tell a friend. That's it. Costs you nothing, helps us out, and gives your friend some entertainment to make that commute a little easier, or gives them some company on a workout, or while they're cleaning the house, so it helps them out, helps everyone out. All right, so please subscribe, leave a positive comment, and share. All right, Kamal, Lamar Jackson. First of all, I love Lamar Jackson, man. That brother can play some football, and he plays the way we play. He runs the ball, he throws. So he posted an old clip from his draft day where Lamar's Louisville teammate Jair Alexander jumped for joy as his college quarterback Lamar got drafted. Then President Trump responded saying, "Really nice to see this. What a great pick." So first of all, people were shocked that President Trump's fans was like, what? Scratching their head like, why is he shouting this guy out? And then Lamar Jackson responded, "Truz, Trump, Truzz." The internet went crazy. It was like first of all, some people thought he was saying trust Trump. And Truz does not mean that. Truz means like word.
Is that what they're saying, or they're saying trues?
Trues, trust. You know, but the word means yup. Or right. But it's spelled Truzz. But it means sure enough. You know what I'm saying? So people got upset, man. They started, calling him a sellout and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oof. So, Kamal, what is your take on Lamar Jackson saying truz or trues to Trump? How does that make you feel?
Lamar Jackson is a boot-licking Latin. He is a coon of epic proportions. Nah, man. I mean, like, he's basically saying, like, Trump is right. I guess people want him to say truz Trump, and that's the only thing you've been truz about or some shit like that. They want him to take
Get on
a
the
shot.
soapbox.
Yeah, it's like they want him to fight their battles. And it's honestly, it's kind of human nature, or definitely black nature, for us to think that Lamar Jackson, he talks like us, looks like us, plays the same music, listens to the same music as us. You know what? He probably has the same political leanings, or he should have the same political leanings as us. And I'm pretty sure he does. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? He might not be following politics as close as us. And so he might not have the same vitriol towards Trump as everybody else. Or he might just say like, yo, this dude is right. I'm the shit. It's a compliment to me.
Thank you. That's the part that bothers me, Kamal. It's essentially saying thank you.
Right.
Trump, and look, man, we ain't got to get along, man. I don't give a damn. Listen, Adolf Hitler, one of the most racist racists that we've known to man, showed Jesse Owens some props after he said Jesse Owens couldn't do it because he was an inferior being. According to Jesse Owens, Adolf Hitler got Jesse Owens in front of nobody else, made sure it was like under the stadium so nobody could see, and gave Jesse Owens his props. And Jesse Owens appreciated the props. I don't understand how this is not the same thing.
Right. Jesse Owens was supposed to pull out his big black dick and piss on Hitler's boots.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Louis, when he beats Max Schmeling, if Hitler was like, that Joe Louis has a cold, he's got a cold right hand. Like, no, nigga, don't say that shit. I haven't forgotten what all the things you said. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm trying to think. If Trump tweeted the MR podcast is the best podcast I've ever heard in my life, I'm not dissing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, hey man, listen, Trump, he may be wrong about a lot of things, but this is one thing. But I'm not gonna say that in a tweet. I think that's disrespectful. If a man that you don't like gives you some respect, I just feel like it's respect to just, hey man, I appreciate that. And it didn't. I don't know. It doesn't mean he's voting for Trump, man. I think people blew this way out of proportion, Kamal. They blew it way out of proportion. But if Trump says the MRA is the best podcast,
what are you going to say, Kamal?
Oh, my gosh. I have to distance myself from this dude. Because he's
That's
not.
The day we lose you?
No, it's like, dude, motherfucker, I don't want your followers listening to me. It's like, you know, it's like the targeted audience. You know, like In Living Color, when it came out, you know, I don't know, it wasn't really looking for like the fans at Hee Haw.
No, they weren't.
And they weren't trying to get him.
But if the fans from Hee Haw said this is the best comedy show and even better than Hee Haw, are you going to say you damn right, or are you going to say, hey, man, don't watch my shit?
Well, I say this. So let's say majority of In Living Color's fan base became, the Hee Haw fan base. Same people,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Same people that like the blue collar.
Yes, comedy tour. Jeff Foxworthy in there.
If the blue collar fan base started becoming the majority of the fan base of Def Comedy Jam, you best believe it's going to be more Larry the Cable Guys on there and less DLs. You know what I'm saying? And so my point is, like, if all of a sudden our fan base mirrors like Rush Limbaugh, then we're not talking about like Nicki Minaj. Well, we might talk about Nicki Minaj, but we're going in on her sex offender husband. Our take, because we don't want to, our take could change because we might not want to upset our fan base.
You know, it's funny you say that, man, because that's what pretty much every married man deals with. Don't upset the fan base. This is how they so-called change us, because we're just trying not to upset the fan base. And this Dear Irby letter kind of connects with that, because he's going the opposite direction. When we come back, it's Dear Irby time. A wife is frustrated that her husband is not helping enough with homeschooling his kids. You won't believe why. It's the MRA Podcast. Hey, what's up, y'all? If you like this show, you want to help us offset some of these costs, man, you feeling the need to donate, then do just that. Go to www.patreon.com and make a donation to the MRA Podcast. That is the MRA Podcast with Kyle and Kamal, and you can find us at Patreon. Or you can catch us in the street and just be like, hey, man, I love y'all. I want to bless you with some cash and put some dollars in our pocket. You can do that. Or you can hit us on Venmo. Find our names and just, bless us with dough on Venmo. Or you could pray for us. Do that too. But we prefer cash. Let's get into this Dear Irby letter.
Let us.
Dear Irby, I'm a director of marketing for a major coffee brand. You probably use our product every morning to start your day. I am married. Well, she gave a smiley face right there. I'm married with 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl, that my husband had before we met, and I love them dearly. I don't call them my stepchildren. They are my children. My husband has made a great living building musical instruments from scratch and selling them at a premium. He always spends hours upon hours tinkering away in our converted garage that he took over as his workspace without consulting me first. But that is a whole other issue. I digress. Lately, he has been spending more and more time at his workstation, but I need him to help me with homeschooling his kids. He would hate for me to tell you this, but he can't read. My husband is one of those guys who's street smart. He works well with his hands, but he's not book smart. His children love him dearly, and he works so well with them as long as it has nothing to do with school. I'm the total opposite. While I don't always have the patience to work with children, I find their work facile. Is it facile or facile? I've never heard that word.
I think it's facile.
Facile. And I think this is why he thinks he can just pawn all their schoolwork onto my plate while he tinkers away in what used to be our garage.
That word is facile. I'm sorry.
Facile. Thank
Facile.
you. It's facile.
Yeah, I was like, facile. That's like the Greek word for facilitator. Facile.
What does facile mean?
According to Google, this like easily achieved, effortless.
So let's go back. She said, while I don't always have the patience to work with children, I find their work to be facile. She could have said easy. She said facile. Got it. All right. So back to the letter. He has always, dang, she likes her big words. He always has a myriad of excuses why he can't help me, and it's beginning to wear on us. I have a major company to run. I don't have time to be mommy homemaker, full-time teacher, a wife, and have time for myself. How can I get him to pick up some slack with the homeschooling? Kamal, can you help this lady out?
Man, here's the thing. If she's not walking around saying words like facile and myriad in front of him. Okay, man. Yeah, okay. This is tough because the man has a deficiency in reading. He can't do it. And you're asking him to potentially expose himself in front of his kids by helping them with their homework. He can't help them. If he doesn't want his kids to know Pops can't read, don't make Pops help him with the homework. I mean, I don't get it. He can't help them. Now, he might understand how to do math or whatever, but he can't read the directions. You know, he can't read the word problems and stuff like that. You're setting him up for failure, A. B, embarrassment. You know, and here's the thing. I think this time for working at home is causing a little animosity between her, because the way she's saying him working in the garage, he makes a lot of money. She says he's tinkering away. You know, she's minimizing what he does, you know, because she's got this big company to run. I don't know if the cash is similar, you know, or equivalent, but it's like, man, that's his thing. That's how he puts food on the table. You put food on the table in a corporate setting, but you know what I'm saying, the cash is the same. So don't try to minimize what he has to do and big up yours. Now, you're saying, I get it, that you have to do all of that and still help the kids out. All right, so what do you want him to do? Don't make him do the work, the homework. Don't make him do the homework. Ask him to help out in other ways. Can you help out with lunch? Can you help out with dinner? Can you do other things? I got the work. You said it's effortless. It's facile, as the word you put it. Well, it ain't gonna be facile to him. Whatever the opposite word of facile, that's what it'll be for him. So don't put him in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Don't put that on him. You know, if whatever it is that you were deficient in, I'm not saying this, but I'm going to say, like, if you couldn't play a lick of basketball, and he's like, look, I'm working, I'm building this instrument. Can you go outside with our kid and teach him how to shoot left-handed layups? I need that. You'd be like, what the fuck? Why are you even asking me this? You know, he wouldn't. I'm hoping, I'm assuming he wouldn't. This is a tough one, because the thing about it is, he's not going to get better with his reading anytime soon. Even if he says, you know what, I need to overcome this, I need to learn how to read. This shit ain't going to be overnight. You know what I'm saying? Wow. You remember, I'm sure, she didn't leave a name, right?
Yeah, she did. It was Deborah in Denver. I'm sorry, I left that off the.
Who is it? Paste. Deborah?
Deborah, yeah, in Denver.
Deborah, you remember when you were in school and we all had to read, and the teacher would call on that kid who struggled, and you would be like, what the fuck, dog? And you would sigh and huff and puff, and while he was reading, you're waiting to hurry up to get to the end, like, hurry me the fuck up, dude. Can you imagine if that was your pops? Your pops is reading the directions and he's struggling, and you're like, hurry the fuck up. How much respect would you have for him? Pops is superhero. Don't introduce his kryptonite to his fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody gave Jimmy Olsen kryptonite. Like, hey, this shit right here, your man, give it to him and see what happens. That's what you're trying to do. Stall him out. Not give him another task. Ask him how he can help. Because I'm sure you have some ideas, but don't put this shit on him. Please, Deborah.
Kamal, let me tell you something, man. This bothers me for a few reasons. First of all, Deborah, thank you for listening. I don't want to shit on our own listener, but I don't even see how she listens to this show. We don't feel like I don't understand how she found us, to be honest. It's crazy when I look at the numbers of where we're playing and the people that are listening. I'm like, y'all listening to this show? It's amazing to me. You never know where your people are going to be. So, Deborah, I thank you for listening, but this kind of touches me in a way, so I'm going to try not to be rude. I'm just going to tell you right now. Because Because first of all, when I was a kid, I struggled with reading. I still struggle with reading. I mean, you have no idea how patient Kamal has to be when I'm reading these goddamn letters. Y'all don't hear it on the show. You might hear it a little bit, but it takes me about 30 minutes to edit a Dear Irby letter for me butchering up sentences and shit. So when I was a kid, I couldn't read at all. I could, like, I never was illiterate, but dyslexia and, rushing and making up words and guessing sentences and being in a hurry and just, man, I was the dude, Kamal, that Lakeisha McKinney could read fast, and she was pretty. And she was the pretty girl in class that read fast. So was Larice Thomas. I don't know what's it about pretty girls that can read. You ever met a pretty girl that can't read? That's embarrassing, ain't it?
Yeah, I've met them.
Man.
Yes, I have.
The dumb pretty girl, man.
Yeah.
I guess that's solid. Yeah, I can't get down with that. But anyway, so I know what it's like to be, never been the dumb kid in the class, but the reading definitely been embarrassed by my reading for years. And I can't believe I read books now, but whatever. Anyway, the point is, this is bigger than Nino Brown, Kamal.
This thing is bigger than Nino Brown.
Deborah and her man are having problems. Deborah is turning on her dude. This is my guess. Deborah's under a lot of pressure at work. She's a director of marketing for some major company. All right. That's a lot. I know what it's like to have a professional mate, and I know what it's like to be with a woman like this that's good at this, but not too good with the kids. I've been there. I've seen this. Every woman, I'm guessing like your first wife and second wife is night and day with how they work with the kids. I'm guessing, personality wise, right? Mm-hmm. I'm guessing your first wife was probably not as good with kids as your second wife.
Well, I don't think she's helped out at all.
Exactly. But professionally, I think your first wife is well decorated. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not shitting on your second wife's.
Second wife operates in a different. She swims in different waters. She's more of an independent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's more independent.
But sometimes those people that don't work well with the kids, they excel like a motherfucker in this other area. It's something about really smart people. Sometimes they are not that personable. They can be stoic. They could have sticks up the ass, apparently. Not that they do, but it could sure look like they goddamn do. You guys are having an issue, man, because you're turning on your dude, man. In this letter, the arc in this letter is amazing. I don't know if she meant to do this, but she went from, I don't call them my stepchildren, they're my children, to I need him to help me homeschooling his kids. Same goddamn paragraph. So it's like, I'm sorry, Deborah, to put you out there, but I'm like, yo, you probably didn't even realize you did that. You went from my children, because it sounds great.
Yeah, instead of our kids to his kids.
Yeah. And sometimes people, man, they be so goddamn concerned with the division of labor that they start counting everybody. Look what I'm doing. Look what you're doing. I'm doing more than you. I'm doing more than, that's not fair. That's so fucking vaginal. It drives me nuts.
That's not fair.
I hate that phrase. That's not fair. That's like, children.
You get to do this and I get to.
Yep. That's what it is. It's the jealousy of what her husband gets to do. You get to be tinkering with now he's tinkering this month. That's his job.
Yeah.
Here's the irony. I love when things come full circle. At the beginning of the show, Kamal, I said that women need to make a menu of things that he can do and pick from that menu. Because Kamal, maybe he doesn't like to cook, but he don't mind vacuuming. He don't want to do nothing. But he doesn't want to pull the rest of his hair out from vacuuming. Sorry for that slight. He doesn't want to, because I was going to say pull his hair out. Then I immediately thought that Kamal doesn't rock hair. He rocks the baldy. But you don't hate vacuuming like you hate maybe washing dishes. You see what I mean? So what you need to do, Deborah, is you guys need to have a business meeting and talk about the division of labor. Because I promise you there is something that he can do to help pick up the slack. But here's another issue. This is borderline dirty, Mac. Kamal, throw your flag if I'm doing this. I think Deborah's husband is hiding from her. Sometimes when a motherfucker gets so sick of her shit, because when you with a girl that's smart, nothing like smart people, they love to remind you how fucking smart they are.
I know, right?
And if she's an intellect and she's already told us that the dude can't read, see, you get this brutish guy that you was he's very protective and he's this and he's that. You knew he wasn't the sharpest tack in the bunch when you got with his ass. And now all of a sudden the side effect of the shit that you was into one day, now you ain't into it no more. That's what no, you got to take the good with the bad. So, okay, he's not the sharpest dude, but he works with kids well. So have him do a different aspect of their homeschool education. But I need you to unpack.
Let's unpack
why you've turned on him and maybe inspect why this motherfucker's running from your ass, because he's probably sick of your shit.
When they're just around each other, I don't know if he
Yes.
might feel inadequate or whatever, but one thing he knows he can do, he go in his garage,
Yep.
and he's like, it's the one thing that I do that makes me feel like I'm better than everybody else. And now you want to take that and put me in a position where I'm worse than everybody else.
Wow. Ooh, that's deep. If you guys have a Dear Irby letter, send us an email at dearirby@themrapodcast.com. That is dearirby@themrapodcast.com. Where can we find you?
Twitter and Instagram at Angry Kamal.
I am at Kyle Irby, KYLEERBY. We're both at the MRA Podcast. KyleIrby.com is my website. We can see some of my commercials and videos I've done. The MRAPodcast.com is where you can listen to all of our episodes. We got 90 of them. Blessed to be able to say that. Ladies, we love you. Fellas, be a man at all times.
Deuces.